What if attracting wealth wasn't about trying harder, but about being more you? Venus isn't just the planet of love and beauty. She's the cosmic code to your abundance frequency. Venus is the way you naturally magnetize opportunities, resources, and wealth when you stop dimming your light. Each Venus sign carries its own unique wealth portal, not one that's earned through hustle or overgiving, but one that's activated through embodiment, energy, and alignment. In this video, we're going to explore how each Venus sign reveals the frequency of abundance you were born to carry, where you block your receiving with shame or self sacrifice, how you magnetize money with ease, joy, and truth, and how to heal and rewire your wealth energy from the root. So grab your birth chart, find your Venus sign, and let's decode the way money is meant to flow to you, through you, and for you.
Venus in Aries is electric, bold, radiant. It doesn't attract the way other signs do. It ignites. Your abundance frequency is primal and magnetic because it's fused with self-trust and instinct. You were never meant to wait your turn or overthink the plan. Your power lies in the initiation, in acting on inspired impulses, taking the first step, and claiming what you desire before anyone else dares to. This placement is ruled by Mars, which means your relationship to money is tied to your ability to move toward what you want without hesitation. The moment you let your passion lead, money starts moving. You came here to embody wealth as a living frequency, not something you calculate or strategize your way into. Your soul chose this placement because you're meant to model what it looks like to own your desires fully and take bold action toward them. Your abundance is activated through fearless momentum, the kind that doesn't wait for applause or permission. Venus in Aries can feel unsafe showing up as too much. Maybe someone once told you to tone it down, to be softer, quieter, or more agreeable. And so you learned to edit your passion, thinking it was the reason that people pulled away. But this placement needs fire. Without it, your magnetism flickers out. You'll either repress your ambition and feel resentful, or you'll chase approval at the cost of your intuition. You might also burn through money fast, not because you're reckless, but because you're trying to prove something. Aries can spend impulsively when it's disconnected from inner validation. Money becomes a performance instead of a resource. And this only deepens the shame cycle around desire and deservingness. Your biggest wealth blocks come from dimming your drive or mistaking hesitation for humility. You don't need to be small to be spiritual. You just need to be sovereign. When you're in alignment, your presence becomes a spark. People feel it. They're drawn to your urgency, your aliveness, your "I'm doing it anyway" energy. That's what makes you magnetic. Not playing nice, but playing real. You magnetize money by starting first. You don't wait for trends, you start them. You magnetize by showing up visibly and boldly, even when you're not fully ready. By taking risk others talk themselves out of. And you magnetize money by infusing your brand or work with personality, passion, and power. Clients, opportunities, and wealth find you when you're moving towards something that genuinely excites you. Aries Venus money comes after the leap, not before it. The more you act from your gut, the faster life moves to support you. You don't have to earn your place by waiting in line. You're allowed to move first. You're allowed to want more. And you're allowed to go get it. Healing your Venus in Aries means restoring your sacred right to be hungry without guilt. The first step to achieving this is to reclaim your right to want. You were born to lead with desire, but that desire has likely been shamed or misinterpreted. Practice saying what you want out loud, even if it feels vulnerable or taboo. Stop labeling your ambition as greedy. It's sacred and it's generative. And get comfortable being too much, because that's exactly what makes you unforgettable. Your desires are divine breadcrumbs. Stop judging the fire that was meant to guide you. Next is to heal the guilt around going first. You're not selfish for putting yourself first. You're in alignment. Release the belief that leadership means leaving others behind. When you rise, you pull others into their power. Let go of the idea that wealth has to be earned through struggle. Your path is through activation, not endurance. Take action before you're ready. This is your medicine. Going first isn't selfish. It's sacred leadership. Next is to let money be a mirror of confidence. Money responds to the way you carry yourself. Raise your prices. Pitch your offer. Show up before it's perfect. Build a brand that moves people, not one that pleases everyone. Anchor your wealth strategy in self-trust, not market research. You are the offer. When you believe that, so does everyone else. Next is to redefine success as self-expression. For you, wealth isn't just about numbers. It's about feeling alive. Align your income goals with what lights you up, not what's expected. Make room for fun, edge, and experimentation in your business or brand. The more authentic and embodied you are, the faster abundance follows. When you express yourself fully, you create the energy people pay for. And finally, stop asking permission to be powerful. Your energy shifts everything, but only if you own it. Notice where you're diluting your message to avoid making others uncomfortable. Break the habit of waiting for signs, support, or guarantees before taking action. Trust that your rawness, boldness, and truth are exactly what opens doors. Power isn't granted, it's claimed, and it's time to claim yours. A great affirmation for your Venus in Aries is, I don't wait for abundance, I create it. My confidence is currency. My desire is enough. Let's make this a chart therapy session and share your thoughts in the comments below. And be sure to hit like if your chart feels seen. Send it to someone who needs this clarity, and subscribe for your next cosmic reality check. And if you're ready to stop outsourcing your worth and finally come home to yourself, my Venus Activation Journal guides you through your Venus sign and house so you can rewire how you see and love yourself. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Venus in Taurus is luxury in motion. It's the slow burn, the grounded glow, the frequency of, I deserve this because I exist. You didn't come here to chase. You came here to receive. When you're rooted in your worth, wealth begins to orbit around you. Not because you're doing more, but because you're being more. More present, more trusting, more attuned to what feels good in your body and in your life. This is Venus in her rulership, which means your value isn't just something you hold, it's something you are. Your presence has a richness to it. Your love has weight. Your essence feels like a sanctuary. That's your currency. Your soul chose this placement to master the vibration of enoughness. To remember that what's slow is not stagnant, and what's solid is not boring. You're here to stabilize abundance, not sprint after it, and to build a life that feels just as beautiful as it looks. Because Venus in Taurus is wired for stability, your nervous system might panic at the first sign of financial fluctuation. And when that happens, you can overcorrect, holding on too tightly, playing it safe, or avoiding change that could actually bring you more. You might equate doing less with laziness, even though your soul is craving rest. You might settle for undercharging, overgiving, or staying in a job that drains you because it pays the bills. But the truth is that Taurus Venus doesn't thrive in scarcity survival mode. You thrive when you feel good, when your nervous system is grounded, when your self-worth isn't tied to how much you produce. Another block is thinking you have to deserve wealth through sacrifice or suffering. But you don't earn abundance. You align with it. When you feel safe, grounded, and at peace, you become an energetic magnet. People want to be around you, buy from you, learn from you. Your wealth grows when you trust the frequency of enoughness more than the fear of not enough. You magnetize money by creating offers, products, or experiences that feel good in your body. By making decisions from a place of trust and embodiment, not urgency. By sharing your gifts in a way that's slow, sacred, and deeply valuable. And by charging for the energy, wisdom, and peace you naturally hold. Venus in Taurus doesn't sell hype. You sell security. People invest in you because your energy makes them feel safe. And that's priceless. The world taught you to speed up, prove your worth, and hustle for validation. But your body already knows the truth. You are allowed to move slower and still thrive. You're allowed to feel safe while getting rich. You're allowed to build something beautiful, stable, and yours. The first step to achieving this is to stop earning and start embodying. You don't need to prove your value by being useful 24/7. Practice resting without guilt, even when there's more to do. Detach your pricing from how long something takes you. Let yourself be the value, not just provide it. Your worth doesn't live in what you give. It lives in who you are. Next is to build a body-led relationship with money. Taurus is ruled by the senses. Your body is your oracle. Track how your body feels when making financial decisions. Only say yes to opportunities that feel grounding, not depleting. Regulate your nervous system through pleasure, not punishment. Abundance flows through safety. So create safety from within. Next is to trust that slower can still be successful. You're not here to keep up. You're here to build legacy. Redefine results as consistency, sustainability, and peace. Create spaciousness in your schedule. Wealth needs room to land. Let time be your ally, not your enemy. When you honor your pace, prosperity honors you. Next is to infuse your work with sensory value. The Venus in Taurus gift is richness in sound, texture, taste, and beauty. Add tangible beauty to your brand, products, or services. Price based on the experience you create, not the deliverables. Trust that people pay for what makes them feel something. People pay for what nourishes them, and your essence is nourishing. Finally, release scarcity conditioning around security. You don't have to cling to what's safe just because it's familiar. Notice where you're settling for comfort over expansion. Practice letting go of what no longer feels aligned, even if it's stable. Invite in upgrades without expecting the worst. Security isn't found in the old, it's created through self-trust. A great affirmation for your Venus in Taurus is, I am enough. I have enough. And I attract more by being all of me. What hit you in the gut or the heart? I love to hear it, so be sure to let me know in the comments. And of course, tap that like button, share the vibes, and subscribe so the stars always find you. And you don't have to keep chasing connection to feel chosen. My Venus Activation Journal walks you through healing the parts of you that forgot you were the prize. Start your new love story through the link below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Venus in Gemini is wired to receive through mental electricity, the kind that sparks when you're in conversation, brainstorming, writing, teaching, learning, laughing, connecting. Your mind is your moneymaker, and your magnetism lies in your ability to make people think differently or feel understood through words they've never been able to find on their own. You were born with an abundance frequency that's meant to move quickly, creatively, and across many channels. One business, one platform, or one way of showing up rarely satisfies your energy for long. You thrive when you have multiple ways to express yourself and income streams that evolve as your ideas do. You're here to be a messenger of possibility, and the more curious and playful your path, the more magnetic your energy becomes. Unlike traditional Venus placements that rely on stability or predictability, your abundance flows in unexpected, inspired, and dynamic ways. Sometimes money shows up after a random post, a single sentence, or a late night idea that felt too casual to matter, but it did. That's your gift. You transmit wealth through connection, clarity, and intellectual intimacy. This is the Venus sign of the creative entrepreneur, the content queen, the digital multi-hyphenate, the writer, the speaker, podcaster, or brand voice behind movements. You don't just share knowledge. You spark momentum. You are the messenger who gets paid to be you. Now, your biggest sabotage pattern is thinking that your value comes from sounding smart rather than feeling aligned. You can get so caught up in researching, refining, or reshaping your ideas that you never release them into the world. Because Venus in Gemini is wired for variety, you may fear boredom, but constantly switching gears too early can stall your abundance flow. The mind says, try something else, before the energy has had time to root and grow. There's also a tendency to disconnect from your body and heart when making money moves. But wealth isn't a concept, it's an energy. And for you, it has to feel both mentally exciting and emotionally true. You are a natural communicator, whether it's spoken, written, tweeted, recorded, or sung. Your words move people. You open wallets by opening minds. When you're tuned in, even a sentence from you can change someone's life. You magnetize money by monetizing your voice, perspective, or multi passionate nature, by building an audience or community that loves your mind, by launching multiple offers, brands, or creative lanes, and also by teaching, writing, speaking, or storytelling with edge and energy. People buy from you not just for what you know, but for how you say it. Your genius is your communication style, and your wealth multiplies when you trust its power. You were programmed to believe consistency meant doing one thing forever. But your consistency looks different. It's showing up in your brilliance, wherever it takes you. You don't need to figure it all out before you receive. You just need to speak from where you are. The first step to achieving this is to reframe consistency as frequency. Your consistency isn't in the structure, it's in your vibration. So create rhythms that honor your mental cycles. Show up regularly, but let your format evolve. Trust that your frequency is what people crave most. You don't have to pick one thing. You just have to pick one frequency. Next is to monetize your mind, not just your output. Your thoughts are a product. Turn your ideas into courses, offers, or media. Capture your voice. Record, post, write, speak. Don't hoard your insights. Share them often and unapologetically. Your words don't need to be perfect. They just need to be true. Next is to make room for multiplicity without chaos. You're meant to do many things, but not all at once. Use creative batching or rotation systems to honor your cycles. Allow seasons of expression instead of daily juggling. Clarify the why behind each lane to stay grounded. Freedom isn't about doing everything. It's about choosing on your terms. Next is to anchor your nervous system in truth, not performance. You can be charming and real, magnetic and grounded. Speak from your heart, not just your intellect. Pause when you feel disconnected and return with clarity. Choose income streams that let your full self be expressed. When you let your voice hold your value, you don't need to prove it. And finally, shift from selling to storytelling. You are a magnetic teacher, not a cold marketer. Focus your money around connection, education, and insight. Let your curiosity guide your offers and launches. Use your brand voice to build trust, not force transactions. People invest in you when they feel seen, heard, and understood. A great affirmation for your Venus in Gemini is, my voice is valuable. My mind is magnetic. My truth attracts everything meant for me. It's chart confession time. Be sure to let me know what resonated most for you in the comments. If you love what you heard, be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so the algorithm and the universe keep delivering. And if you're tired of repeating old patterns, my Venus Activation Journal walks you through reconnecting with your self-worth and rewriting your love story from the inside out. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Venus in Cancer holds a deeply receptive, nurturing, and protective energy. You were born with a frequency that pulls abundance in through emotional resonance. When something feels safe, meaningful, and energetically aligned, your wealth isn't meant to come from force. It's meant to flow when you feel rooted, emotionally supported, and in tune with your intuition. This is the Venus sign of the energetic container. Your presence, your care, your thoughtfulness, these are currencies. People feel held in your energy, and that creates trust. So whether it's through a business, brand, or relationship, your natural ability to create emotional safety is part of how you receive. You're here to remind others that money can feel like home. But your abundance isn't passive. You are powerful when you own the value of your energetic labor, the invisible work of caring, intuiting, remembering, and tending. The moment you stop questioning whether your softness is valuable, your income starts rising. This placement is especially powerful for healers, coaches, counselors, writers, artists, and space holders of all kinds. You attract money when what you offer nourishes others emotionally, and when you allow yourself to be nourished too. Because you're wired for emotional attunement, you may have grown up putting others' needs before your own. You learn to anticipate what would make others comfortable, and somewhere along the way, you stopped asking for what you need. This turns your abundance channel into a one-way street. You give and give, but receiving becomes guilt-laced. You want to be supported, but it feels scary to trust anyone else with your vulnerability. So you overfunction, you overgive, and you quietly resent how unbalanced it feels. This creates a core pattern. Emotional burnout equals blocked abundance. When you're drained, resentful, or emotionally neglected, money stops moving. Because at your core, you don't just need cash. You need to feel safe and supported in order to thrive. Your biggest wealth blocks come from taking care of others before yourself, confusing independence with protection, and believing you must deserve abundance by overworking or proving your worth through self-sacrifice. You magnetize wealth when you are aligned with what feels right, not what looks impressive. When you feel connected, seen, and nurtured, you glow. You attract people who want to be part of your energy field, who want to pay for the feeling you offer them. You magnetize money by building a brand that feels like a soft place to land. By infusing your offers with care, safety, and personal connection. By honoring your sensitivity as a superpower. And by creating a cozy, emotionally resonant experience for your clients or audience. Venus in Cancer doesn't chase. It attracts through resonance. When your emotional cup is full, abundance flows to match your vibration. Your healing is about making space to receive without guilt and letting wealth flow in as easy as you give love. You don't have to sacrifice yourself to be valuable. You don't have to be everything to everyone in order to be worthy. The first step to realigning with your abundance code is to nourish yourself first. A dry well can't pour. Give yourself permission to receive before giving. Prioritize rituals, relationships, and routines that refill your cup. Create boundaries that protect your peace and emotional reserves. You are your most important client. Nourish you first, and the money follows. Next is to let it be safe to be seen. Hiding won't protect your heart. It only hides your gifts. Show your face. Share your story. Let people feel you. Trust that your vulnerability builds intimacy, not weakness. Drop the armor. Your softness is your strategy. You don't need to be polished. You just need to be real. Next is to rewrite your story around support. You don't have to hold it all anymore. Let others show up for you emotionally, energetically, and financially. Ask for help without apology or guilt. Invest in your own healing, business, or dreams. You are worthy. Abundance isn't about being strong enough to do it all. It's about being supported enough to be yourself. Next is to turn emotional wisdom into income. Your sensitivity is a sacred service. Build offers that reflect your nurturing gifts, such as writing, healing, coaching, mentorship. Let your emotional intuition guide your pricing, marketing, and messaging. Anchor your business in belonging, not performance. People don't pay for information. They pay to feel seen. That's your gift. Finally, heal the inner child who was the caretaker. The more you protect them now, the richer you become. Journal on the ways you learned to meet everyone else's needs first. Reclaim your right to rest, receive, and play without guilt. Create a life your inner child would feel safe in. The wealth you seek comes when you feel safe enough to receive it. A great affirmation for your Venus in Cancer is, I allow myself to receive deeply. My care is currency. My softness is a gift. The floor is yours. What part of this video spoke straight to your soul? Be sure to tell me below. And of course, your 3-second ritual: like, share, and subscribe to keep this energy coming your way. And if you're ready to stop outsourcing your worth and finally come home to yourself, my Venus Activation Journal guides you through your Venus sign and house so you can rewire how you see and love yourself. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Venus in Leo is a cosmic invitation to be the main character in your own wealth story. You were born to attract money not through playing small or playing it safe, but by owning your spotlight. Your presence is your brand. Your creativity is your currency. Your radiance is your strategy. This placement is naturally magnetic. You carry a wealth frequency that says, I know I'm valuable, and I'm not afraid to show it. The more joy, authenticity, and creative self-expression you infuse into your work, the more you become a beacon for aligned success. People feel you. They remember your energy. Your abundance is tied to your self-celebration. You attract when you embody your worth, take up space with intention, and let your passions fuel your platform. You are here to be seen, adored, and compensated accordingly. This Venus sign thrives in creative entrepreneurship, personal branding, fashion, design, performing arts, entertainment, content creation, motivational speaking, and anywhere bold authenticity and leadership are required. You're not just meant to have wealth. You're meant to be admired in the process. Now, when you've been punished for standing out, your natural shine turns into self-censorship. You start dimming your magic to avoid jealousy, rejection, or the pain of being misunderstood. Instead of showing up fully, you play the likable version, the humble version, the don't worry, I'm not too much version. This breaks your abundance flow. Venus in Leo is activated through visibility. But when you outsource validation, when you need applause to feel worthy, your power becomes fragile. You become overly attached to likes, sales, attention, or praise. And the second it's quiet, you start questioning your value. Your blocks often come from needing external approval to feel safe being bold, from avoiding visibility because of past wounds around being too much, and from staying stuck in comparison, perfectionism, or people-pleasing. You magnetize money when you show up with full body confidence and heart-led storytelling. When you use your life, your voice, and your creative gifts to inspire others. When you let your style, branding, and business reflect your true essence. as well as when you create offers that make people feel uplifted, lit up, and empowered. You are a natural leader and heart-centered performer. You don't just want people to buy, you want them to feel something. When you're lit up by your own message, others want in. And that's when money flows. You don't need to compete. You just need to own your lane. Healing your money energy means letting yourself be seen, even when no one claps yet, even when it feels risky, even when you're still building. You don't wait for the spotlight. You become it. Now, the first step to achieving this is to celebrate yourself unapologetically. Your self-worth sets the price. Brag on your wins. Create rituals that honor your power. Let self-celebration be a normal part of your life and brand. Be loud about your value, especially when no one else is yet. You are the sun. Your wealth comes when you act like it. Next is to channel your inner icon into your work. Your wealth comes from embodying the version of you who already made it. Step into your higher self before the results arrive. Dress, speak, and show up in your business or work life like someone who knows they are a brand. Let every offering reflect your taste, your aesthetic, and your main character energy. When you treat yourself like a luxury brand, the world does too. Next is to detach your worth from applause. You are not your metrics. Practice showing up with full presence, regardless of how many views, likes, or sales come through. Build your internal validation muscle, not just your audience. Know that your gift is bigger than any algorithm. Confidence that isn't dependent on performance is magnetic. Next is to monetize what brings you joy. If you light up by doing it, it's profitable. Focus on the offers and projects that make you feel alive. Charge more for the things you pour your soul into. Let fun, luxury, and personal flair be part of your brand. Your pleasure is profitable. Finally, heal the wound of being too much. You were never too much. You were just too powerful for the wrong rooms. Journal on the moments you dimmed yourself to be accepted. Create space for the version of you who takes up all the space they desire. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your radiance. You don't have to shrink to belong. You belong in the spotlight. A great affirmation for your Venus in Leo is, I am allowed to be seen, celebrated, and paid for being fully me. My radiance is my revenue. Let's talk about it. What did this unlock for you? Be sure to comment and let it out. And of course, love on this video with a like, spread the magic, and subscribe so the universe keeps sending you these vibes. And you don't have to keep chasing connection to feel chosen. My Venus Activation Journal walks you through healing the parts of you that forgot you are the prize. So be sure to start your new love story through the link below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Venus in Virgo holds a sacred frequency, the power to create abundance through humble mastery and meaningful impact. You magnetize wealth through devotion, not just to your craft, but to your values, your healing, and your desire to serve with integrity. This placement isn't about flashy success. It's about feeling useful, fulfilled, and spiritually aligned with what you offer. You attract abundance through intentionality, quality, and care. Whether through healing, art, systems, or service, when you pour your heart into something real, the universe notices. This is the placement of the sacred helper, the earth angel, the quiet force behind transformation. You don't need to chase spotlight or praise. Your energy works in the background, refining the vibration of everything you touch. Your superpower is your ability to see what's out of alignment and lovingly bring it back to harmony. And when you allow yourself to see your own worth with the same clarity and compassion you offer others, your entire wealth frequency shifts. You stop settling. You stop shrinking. You start allowing yourself to be well compensated for the medicine only you can deliver. Your biggest blocks come from the belief that you have to be better to receive more. Venus in Virgo energy can internalize unrealistic standards, believing that if your work isn't flawless, it's not worth anything. You may obsess over the details, delay launching, or undercharge out of guilt. You might even hide your gifts until you've earned the right to share them. Another trap is becoming so focused on fixing others that you forget to value yourself. This placement can attract one-sided relationships, professionally or romantically, where you give endlessly, hoping to be chosen through usefulness. But true wealth doesn't come from proving your worth. It comes from recognizing it as is. Your medicine isn't perfection, it's presence. You're not meant to sell. You're meant to serve in a way that feels sacred. Your energy is clean, honest, and trustworthy. People sense that. Your wealth comes when you lean into your precision, your standards, and your deep care for others' transformation. You magnetize money by making complexity feel simple and doable for others. Sharing your systems, methods, or healing tools. Providing thoughtful, honest value that solves real problems. And by running your business or brand like a sacred offering. Venus in Virgo doesn't attract with noise. It attracts with nurturing excellence. You don't need to shout. Your results speak for you. So you already give with intention. Now you're learning to receive with the same reverence. This placement is here to rewrite your worth from something earned to something embodied. The first step to achieving this is to let excellence come from devotion, not pressure. You thrive when your work is a prayer, not a performance. Set high standards without tying your worth to them. Stay grounded in why you do what you do. Choose meaning over perfection. Your magic isn't in getting it right. It's in doing it with care. Next is to heal the belief that you must be needed to be worthy. You are not only valuable when you're fixing someone or something. Notice where your giving comes from fear of being replaced. Practice saying no to energy leaks, overhelping, or unpaid labor. Trust that your presence, not your usefulness, is the magnet. You don't have to prove your worth to keep your seat at the table. Next is to redefine wealth as impact. You thrive when your success feels meaningful. Align your goals with the change you want to create. Build offers that feel like sacred service. Let testimonials, results, and gratitude remind you that your work matters. When you help others transform, your abundance multiplies. Next is to let organization become a channel for wealth. Your rituals and systems are spiritual, and they attract prosperity. Refine your back-end processes, daily habits, and sacred routines. Use organization to reduce stress and amplify flow. Treat your workspace, calendar, and money tracking as sacred spaces. When you're organized, you become a clear channel for abundance. And finally, practice receiving without earning it. You don't need to hustle to deserve sweetness. Say yes to compliments, gifts, ease, and rest. Let money come in through alignment, not just effort. Remember that ease is not laziness. It's divine permission. You are allowed to have what you didn't fight to the death for. A great affirmation for your Venus in Virgo is, my gifts are valuable. My service is sacred. I receive with ease, knowing my presence is enough. Okay, be honest. What part did you not want to hear but needed to? Be sure to share it below in the comments. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if it stirred something in you. Share the magic with your friends and subscribe to stay tapped in. And if you're tired of repeating old patterns, my Venus Activation Journal walks you through reconnecting with your self-worth and rewriting your love story from the inside out. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. With Venus in Libra, your wealth code is written in the language of elegance, mutuality, and grace. You're not meant to grind your way into wealth. You're meant to glide. Your abundance is deeply tied to how you make others feel in your presence and how beautifully you express your values, your standards, and your vision for a more harmonious world. This placement carries the magnetic power of Venus in her rulership, which means your energy was born to magnetize without force. You draw people in not by pushing, but by cultivating an energy field that feels irresistible. You attract money, clients, and connections through charm, beauty, and fairness, but most of all, through relationships where everyone feels seen and honored. You're here to show the world that wealth doesn't have to feel harsh, cutthroat, or disconnected. Instead, you embody a new paradigm of prosperity, one where everyone wins when integrity, collaboration, and beauty are prioritized. You naturally create win-win environments when people feel drawn to invest in your offerings, your vision, and your presence. But there's a secret key to unlocking your fullest abundance potential. You must believe that honoring yourself is not selfish. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to receive more than enough. You are allowed to set the terms of your energetic exchanges. When you trust that your presence alone is valuable, not just what you can do for others, you unlock your truest frequency of wealth. Venus in Libra often struggles with overextending, giving too much to prove your worth or preserve peace. You may feel responsible for keeping everyone else comfortable, even if it costs you your own alignment. But the truth is that abundance can't flow when resentment is silently building. You might undercharge or play small to avoid confrontation or to seem nice. But in doing so, you cut yourself off from the very energy that wants to reward you. Venus in Libra wounds often stem from early programming that said being light was more important than being real. But your abundance blooms the moment you stop performing harmony and start creating it from the inside out. When you're in alignment, people feel safe and inspired around you. You have a gift for curating spaces, online or in person, that feel inviting, elevated, and intentional. Whether it's visuals, branding, language, or energy, your essence whispers, "You belong here." And that opens wallets. You magnetize money by creating beauty that resonates in your art, words, visuals, and offerings. When you're charging what feels fair to your soul, not what you think people will tolerate. Through cultivating collaborations and relationships that feel expansive, not draining. And by holding space with presence, grace, and discernment. You don't need to shout to be heard. Your energy speaks volumes when it's grounded in self-trust. Venus in Libra's healing is about shifting from external validation to internal harmony. You're no longer here to earn love through sacrifice. You're here to embody love by standing firmly in your values and inviting others to meet you there. The first step to achieving this is to redefine beauty as power, not performance. You were born to make things beautiful, but not to be the thing that's always consumed. So let your aesthetic be an offering, not an apology. Infuse your brand voice and visuals with your unique essence, not just what's trending. Understand that beauty is frequency. It elevates everything it touches. Your ability to see and create beauty is divine. Use it to uplift, not to please. Next is to let boundaries strengthen your value. Not everyone is meant to sit at your table, and that's okay. Start noticing where you've been saying yes out of obligation, not resonance. Learn that conflict isn't a disruption, it's a mirror. Honor your time, energy, and brilliance like you would a sacred investment. Boundaries aren't rejection, they're self-respect, and they make your offerings even more magnetic. Next is to choose relationships that reflect your future, not your fears. Your environment shapes your wealth frequency. Stop partnering with people who mirror your self-doubt. Surround yourself with those who honor you, not just enjoy you. Say yes to collaborations that elevate your energy, not just your visibility. Your net worth expands with your network, but only if it's rooted in soul alignment. Next is to receive as much as you give. Balance isn't just a preference, it's a requirement. Track where your energy goes. Are you overgiving without replenishment? Allow others to pour into you. Receiving is an energetic skill. Price your offerings in a way that feels good to your body, not just your bank account. The more you receive, the more you can sustain your magic. And finally, stop needing to be liked and start needing to be aligned. Your magnetism isn't in how well you fit, it's in how clearly you radiate. Take the risk of being misunderstood in service of being authentic. Let go of fake peace. Real wealth requires real honesty. Build a brand and life that feels like you, not a version of you that feels safer. The world doesn't need a likable version of you. It needs the true one. A great affirmation for your Venus in Libra is, I attract wealth with ease, beauty, and balance. My value speaks through my presence, and I am worthy of receiving in full. What hit home for you? Be sure to drop it in the comments. I'm listening. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe so the universe keeps us synced. And you don't have to keep chasing connection to feel chosen. My Venus Activation Journal walks you through healing the parts of you that forgot you were the prize. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Venus in Scorpio doesn't attract money the way other signs do. You don't manifest through fluff, charm, or sparkle. You magnetize through depth, through truth, through raw emotional energy that can't be faked. Your abundance flows when you embrace the fact that you are not for everyone and you're not meant to be. You carry an intensity that strips illusions and awakens others. And when you channel that into your creativity, business, or purpose, you don't just attract clients or cash flow, you attract devotion. You are meant to draw in clients who crave transformation, work that feels like alchemy, money that's energetically earned through emotional truth, not performance. You are the soul whisperer, the energetic surgeon, the sacred seductress who heals through presence alone. Venus in Scorpio often grows up learning that love comes with a cost. Maybe you were betrayed after opening your heart. Maybe your trust was violated, your privacy disrespected, your power punished. This can leave deep programming that says, I have to control everything to feel safe. If I let people close, I'll lose everything. I have to suffer to deserve wealth. These subconscious beliefs can sabotage abundance by keeping you in survival mode, hoarding, distrusting, pushing away opportunities that feel too easy, or staying loyal to pain because it feels familiar. The core lie you must unlearn is this: you don't have to suffer to be worthy of wealth. You attract money through emotional honesty, but you often test people before letting them pay you, support you, or even see you. Your love life, business, career, finances may all have a test of loyalty baked into them. You want to know, will they stay? Can I trust this? In your work, this might look like holding back your most powerful gifts unless someone proves themselves. Secretly fearing success because it means more visibility and risk of betrayal. Subconsciously undercharging or over delivering to feel in control. In relationships, you might attract emotionally intense dynamics where passion and power are intertwined with fear of loss. But when you alchemize this, when you stop protecting yourself from your own magnetism, you become financially and emotionally unstoppable. To fully step into your Venus and Scorpio wealth signature, you have to stop hoarding power and start circulating it. The first step to achieving this is to stop equating depth with destruction. Not everything powerful has to hurt. You've been taught that the deeper it goes, the more it must break you down. But your Venus isn't here to destroy, it's here to transform. Start allowing transformation that feels nourishing instead of scarring. Let money feel intimate, not dangerous. Let success feel revealing, not vulnerable. Let support feel safe, not suspicious. Ask yourself, where am I making things harder than they need to be because I don't trust ease? Next is to alchemize your pain into profit. What broke you is also what made you irreplaceable. Your stories, your scars, your shadows, they hold your most magnetic medicine. When you build your career, your offers, content, or creative work from the alchemy of your healing, you become a walking transmission. Don't be afraid to charge for it. You're not monetizing pain. You're offering the path through it. Next is to release the all or nothing mentality. You don't have to burn it all down to evolve. Scorpio energy can be extreme. Either you're all in or completely disconnected. Either you're obsessed or over it. But money loves flow. Your nervous system craves consistency. Practice sustainable, slow building routines. Emotional check-ins around your worth. And letting yourself be seen before you're perfect. Your magnetism expands the more you stay anchored through your waves. Next is to heal control wounds around receiving. The more you trust the universe, the less you need to micromanage your abundance. Venus in Scorpio tends to white knuckle control over finances, clients, and relationships. But true wealth comes when you learn to receive without suspicion. Practice letting people pay you without over-explaining your value. Allow compliments, support, and success to land in your body. Track when fear of betrayal makes you isolate and lean into intimacy instead. Trust is your portal to overflow. And finally, let mystery be your marketing strategy. You don't have to explain your magic. You are the magic. Scorpio is ruled by mystery. Your energy speaks louder than any sales page ever could. You heal your abundant story when you stop over-justifying your work and start embodying it. Use magnetic storytelling over hard selling. Build rituals into your business that deepen your energetic clarity. Let your presence speak the price. You are here to attract wealth by becoming unforgettable, not by becoming understood. A great affirmation for your Venus in Scorpio is, I attract wealth that honors the depth of who I am. I no longer fear being fully seen because my power is sacred, not dangerous. What parts felt like I was reading your chart out loud? Be sure to tell me in the comments. And of course, hit that like button, send this to someone who needs it, and subscribe for more star-powered clarity. And if love has ever made you feel like you weren't enough, my Venus Activation Prompt Journal will help you rewrite that narrative from the inside out. It's time to make peace with your past and reclaim your power. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Venus in Sagittarius carries a frequency of bold truth, higher wisdom, and magnetic optimism. You're not meant to chase wealth through rules or routines. You attract it by living your truth out loud. You thrive in spaces that allow constant learning and expansion, freedom to roam mentally, spiritually, or physically, and meaningful work that aligns with your personal philosophy. Your magnetism comes alive when you're sharing something you're passionate about, especially if it's rooted in belief, higher truth, or global perspective. You are a natural teacher, guide, and visionary. And when your heart is fully in it, people feel that. They want to learn from you, follow you, and pay you. Abundance flows when you stop filtering yourself. Venus in Sagittarius often learns early on that freedom equals safety. Maybe you had a chaotic or rigid upbringing that made you crave escape. Maybe your worth was tied to how much you knew or how much you did, rather than how deeply you felt. This can create subconscious patterns such as distrusting stability because it feels like a trap, overcommitting to too many ideas without grounding them, or fearing that if you slow down, your value disappears. You may unconsciously equate freedom with validation, chasing new experiences, partners, or projects as a way to prove you're worthy. But true wealth isn't about more, it's about alignment. You are here to rewrite the narrative that you have to be everywhere, know everything, or constantly evolve to be valuable. You are a vision holder. You see potential, possibilities, and paths no one else can see. But your desire to keep things light, fun, and future oriented can sometimes create blocks to grounded abundance. You might notice that money comes in through sudden burst, then disappears just as fast. You may notice that you're allergic to the idea of being tied down, even if it would bring stability. And you may self-sabotage with over-promising, under-delivering, or skipping the fine print. In relationships, you attract people who expand your worldview, but may resist emotional intimacy or practical partnership. In business, you can magnetize audiences with your wisdom and energy, but struggle to monetize it sustainably. You're not meant to shrink your dreams. You're meant to structure them enough to let them support you. To truly embody your Venus and Sagittarius wealth signature, you need to anchor your expansion into something real. Your ideas are powerful, but they need space to land. The first step to achieving this is to let freedom be a foundation, not an escape. Stability doesn't mean stuck. It means safe enough to fly. You attract more when you feel free, but true freedom is internal. It's the ability to trust yourself enough to commit, to follow through, and to root your visions into something that lasts. So start asking, what structure would allow me more freedom, not less? Where am I running from routine, even when it could support me? Your growth accelerates when you stop fearing groundedness. Next is to monetize your philosophy. Your beliefs are your brand. Venus in Sagittarius thrives when your values are the vessel for your abundance. You're not meant to sell something you don't believe in, but when you speak from conviction, when you share what you've learned, lived, and trusted, you become wildly magnetic. Turn your experiences into teachings. Build offerings rooted in exploration or education. And don't be afraid to mix play, purpose, and profit. You were born to teach what life taught you. Next is to heal the fear of being too much. You're not too loud, too bold, or too honest. You're just ahead of the curve. Part of your abundance block may stem from past experiences of being silenced, dismissed, or punished for being too optimistic or too free. But your bigness is your gift. Allow yourself to take up space, digitally, emotionally, and financially. Own your enthusiasm because it's contagious. And stop watering down your message to make it palatable. Your vibe is, this is what I believe, and if it resonates, let's ride. That is what's irresistible to the right people. Next is to ground your vision into systems. Even the best ideas need legs. You likely have a million ideas, but Venus in Sagittarius can struggle with follow through. The magic happens when you create containers for your brilliance. So create workflows or habits that support your creativity. Delegate tasks that bore or restrict you. And track your finances with curiosity, not avoidance. You're not here to do things traditionally, but you are here to do them well. And finally, let travel and learning fuel, not derail, abundance. You are most magnetic when you are lit up by life. Travel, study, philosophy, spirituality. These all feed your frequency, but they shouldn't come at the cost of stability. So invest in learning that returns to your work. Build offers that let you teach what you're learning in real time. Anchor new experiences into your existing abundance structures. You don't have to choose between freedom and fortune. You are here to merge them. A great affirmation for your Venus in Sagittarius is, I am free to be all of me. And the more I expand, the more wealth I magnetize. My truth is my treasure. The floor is yours. What part of this video spoke straight to your soul? Tell me below in the comments. And of course, hit that like button. Send this to someone who needs it. and subscribe so you never miss the next download. And if you're ready to stop outsourcing your worth and finally come home to yourself, my Venus Activation Journal guides you through your Venus sign and house so you can rewire how you see and love yourself. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Venus in Capricorn is the embodiment of earned wealth. You radiate quiet power, the kind that doesn't need to be flashy, just undeniable. Your money magnetism activates when you take yourself seriously and embody the role of the expert, leader, or architect. You thrive in environments where long-term success is honored over quick wins, where your reputation and credibility are valued, and where you can build a legacy that outlives trends. There's something deeply magnetic about how measured you are. You don't rush. You calculate. You observe. And that aura of intentionality creates deep trust. People know you'll deliver. You are the vault, the investor, the one who makes it last. You attract wealth through strategy, mastery, and consistency. Even your silence speaks volumes. Venus in Capricorn often internalizes the message that nothing comes for free, that softness is weakness, that if you want to be respected, you need to sacrifice. This can stem from early experiences with emotionally unavailable caregivers or households that valued achievement over affection. So this can show up as feeling guilty when resting or receiving, associating money with pressure or perfectionism, withholding your own desires because they seem frivolous or unproductive. You may believe that abundance has to be hard, that struggle is noble, that success requires you to suppress your emotional needs. But your highest frequency comes alive when you realize you are the structure, and you get to build something softer this time, something that holds you too. You carry a deep sense of responsibility around money, love, and your role in the world. You may play the provider, the planner, the one who always has it together, even when your heart feels heavy. You might find that you attract relationships that respect you, but rarely nurture you, where you take on too much alone, fearing that asking for help makes you weak. You may find that you delay pleasure until you've earned it through work or success. In business or career, you are highly competent and sought after, but you can become so focused on building the dream that you forget to experience it. You may even unconsciously reject money opportunities that feel too easy or emotionally fulfilling. You are here to build, but you are also here to soften. Venus in Capricorn magnetizes more when you stop outsourcing your value to what you achieve. You came here to leave a mark, but you're not meant to sacrifice your joy to do it. Venus in Capricorn's healing begins when you realize that devotion is magnetic and you get to be devoted to yourself too. The first step to achieving this is to reprogram the narrative around deservedness. You don't have to prove anything to be worthy of wealth. Your abundance expands when you stop believing that every dollar must be earned through exhaustion or self-denial. Start asking, what have I already mastered that I haven't let pay me yet? Where am I withholding joy, softness, or comfort because I feel I haven't earned it? Let your enoughness be a starting point, not a reward that you chase. Next is to lead with authority, but let people in. Power without intimacy becomes isolation. You're a natural leader, but vulnerability is part of your Venus magnetism. You don't need to have it all figured out to be respected. In fact, letting people see the human beneath the armor makes you even more magnetic. Show your journey, not just the results. Speak from lived experience, not just strategy. Let wealth include emotional wealth, such as intimacy, connection, and peace. You attract more when you stop hiding the parts of you that still feel tender. Next is to redefine success on your terms. Legacy doesn't have to look like hustle. It can look like healing. You were born to create systems, strategies, and structures that hold your vision. But those structures don't have to mirror the ones that broke you. So try redefining what success feels like, not just what it looks like. Redefine what you're building wealth for. And redefine how to honor your ambition without abandoning your softness. You magnetize the most when your vision honors your actual life, not just your business plan. Next is to let pleasure be the fuel, not the prize. Happiness isn't a distraction from the mission. It's part of it. Venus in Capricorn can delay gratification indefinitely, but you'll attract more when you learn to receive while you build. Invest in beauty, ritual, and self-care as parts of your business model. Anchor pleasure into your routines. Tea, touch, texture, scent. Make room for rest without guilt. Receiving wealth means learning to hold it. So let joy be part of your container. And finally, own your expertise and charge like it. You're not here to play small or beg to be picked. You have a regal, stoic, understated brilliance. But don't let humility become self-sabotage. Don't underprice your wisdom. Don't explain yourself to people who aren't your people. Don't wait for someone else to validate what you know is valuable. Your energy says, I'm not for everyone, and that's what makes me unforgettable. A great affirmation for your Venus in Capricorn is, I build my wealth with integrity, grace, and power. I deserve to receive what I've worked for and more. If your soul just got a wake-up call, be brave and share it in the comments. And of course, tap that like button, share the vibes, and subscribe so the stars always find you. And if you're tired of repeating old patterns, my Venus Activation Journal walks you through reconnecting with your self-worth and rewriting your love story from the inside out. So be sure to grab it. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Venus in Aquarius doesn't follow the rules. It rewrites them. Your magnetism is electric, eccentric, and ahead of its time. You're not here to chase approval. You're here to attract what aligns with your soul's frequency. You naturally draw wealth through original ideas that challenge the status quo. Unconventional pathways, such as tech, energy work, activism, or online platforms, as well as through magnetic authenticity that gives others permission to be free. People are drawn to your uniqueness, your intellect, and your I don't need your validation energy. And ironically, that's what makes you unforgettable. Your abundance opens when you stop trying to be relatable and instead become undeniably yourself. Venus in Aquarius often learns early that love comes with strings, expectations, or conformity. So instead of becoming needy, you become unavailable. This creates an energetic block in both love and money because intimacy feels like entrapment. So you might distance yourself from anything that feels too emotional or controlling. You might convince yourself you don't need money or relationships. You might intellectualize your desires instead of embodying them. Your mind is brilliant, but when your heart isn't allowed in the room, abundance short circuits. You're not here to be owned, but you are here to open. And the more you allow yourself to feel, the more magnetic your frequency becomes. So you may find yourself orbiting the world of wealth rather than fully landing in it. You believe in collective liberation, justice, and accessible success. But sometimes you undercharge, overthink, or disconnect from your own desires to avoid being selfish. So you might avoid high prices or luxury because it feels elitist or misaligned. You might attract sudden financial wins followed by droughts. You might rebel against structure even when it would help you to grow. In love, you are magnetic but aloof. In business, you're visionary but resistant to systems. And when it comes to money, you're meant to redefine what wealth even means, but not at the expense of actually receiving it. Venus in Aquarius is the future of wealth, but you must give yourself permission to belong to a world that still doesn't fully understand you and receive from it anyway. The first step to achieving this is to rewire your relationship to wealth as an energy exchange. Money isn't the enemy of freedom, it's a tool for it. So you might have been conditioned to see money as transactional, oppressive, or too 3D. But what if money is neutral and your frequency is what transforms it? So ask yourself, where am I rejecting money because I think it means selling out? How can I channel income into collective impact, not just personal gain? What would it look like to attract aligned wealth that supports liberation? Your wealth is meant to fund freedom, not replace it. Next is to let people pay you to be fully yourself. You are your own niche. Your originality is the brand. You are magnetic when you speak your truth with no filter. So you might be drawn to coaching, astrology, community building, digital creation, activism, or science-based innovation. But it only clicks when you stop watering it down to be palatable. Package your weirdness. Price your insight. Let your eccentricity be the premium offering. You don't need a business model that already exists. You are the model. Next is to lean into community, but don't merge. You're not here to be isolated, but you don't have to belong by conforming. You heal when you find your soul group, not the people who tolerate you, but the ones who amplify you. Create online or in-person spaces that reflect your ideals. Collaborate, don't compromise. Let collective abundance be the mission, not the mask. When your heart is plugged into community, your purpose becomes unstoppable. Next is to embrace structure that supports expansion. Systems don't have to limit you. They can liberate you. You might resist automation, planning, or scheduling because it feels rigid. But structure frees up your energy for innovation. Build a foundation so your genius has somewhere to land. So try digital business models that scale with ease. Automated income flows, such as courses, content, or collaborations. Try conscious boundaries that protect your energy. The right systems are a stage for your mission, not a cage. And finally, heal the fear of being too different to receive. You're not too much. You are too real to be ignored. You may have felt like an outsider and unconsciously believed that if people really saw you, they'd leave. But your full expression is what the world's been waiting for. Validate your own value before anyone else does. Speak the truth that sets people free, even if it polarizes. Remember, what makes you rare makes you rich. You're not here to fit in. You're here to spark revolutions and attract those who are ready to rise with you. A great affirmation for your Venus in Aquarius is, my wealth flows from my originality, my truth, and my vision for a liberated future. I attract aligned abundance by being fully, unapologetically me. Your astro confessions are welcome. Tell me what resonated most in the comments below. And of course, give this video some love, share it with your soul tribe, and subscribe for more magic. And if you're ready to stop outsourcing your worth and finally come home to yourself, my Venus Activation Journal guides you through your Venus sign and house so you can rewire how you see and love yourself. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Venus is exalted in Pisces. This is the sign where Venus expresses her highest vibration. You are a walking portal of love, grace, and beauty. People feel safe in your energy. You don't just magnetize, you enchant. You attract abundance by channeling divine inspiration through art, words, or healing. By opening your heart fully and fearlessly. And by trusting intuition over strategy. Your wealth lives in the realm of the unseen, the music that moves people to tears, the healing presence that shifts rooms, the devotion you bring to everything you touch. You are a frequency, not a formula. And when you let that frequency lead, the money flows. Venus in Pisces often absorbs the pain of others, internalizing the belief that sacrifice equals virtue. You may struggle with boundaries, confusing giving with proving your worth. You may even unconsciously equate financial struggle with spiritual purity. So this can show up as feeling guilty for charging for your gifts, attracting situations where you overgive and are underpaid, avoiding materialism because it feels spiritually misaligned. But you're not here to stay poor for the sake of being pure. You are here to show that love and wealth can coexist, that healing can be wildly abundant, and that softness can be a power source. You may oscillate between soul downloads and financial fog. You're full of vision, but may struggle with grounding or consistency. You want to help everyone, but without energetic protection, it leaves you drained. So you might undersell your work or forget to monetize it at all. You might stay in helper dynamics, where you're rescuing instead of receiving. And you might abandon your own needs in the name of being spiritual or selfless. But your soul didn't come here to struggle. It came here to transcend, to show what's possible when wealth becomes an extension of unconditional love. You were never meant to hustle your way to wealth. Not with this Venus placement. Venus in Pisces magnetizes through energetic alignment, not exertion. But somewhere along the way, you were programmed to believe that ease is laziness, that softness makes you weak, that being spiritual and being supported can exist in the same sentence. These are the illusions you came here to dissolve. The first step to achieving this is to let wealth be an overflow of your devotion, not a denial of it. Receiving is not selfish, it's sacred. Money is just one way your gifts come back to you, and you are meant to receive deeply. Not because you force it, but because you become the embodiment of the love you give away so freely. View money as an energy that flows through your healing. Price your work with reverence, not guilt. Anchor in the truth. The more you receive, the more you can give. You are worthy of overflow. Next is to ground your dreams with structure that honors your spirit. You're not too sensitive for this world. You just need a container that protects your light. Your energy is ethereal, but your mission still lives in the real world. Set up sacred structure so your creativity can flourish without being drained. So try working with clients who see you and value your frequency. Try sacred scheduling. So blocking off time for spaciousness, the use of your intuition and softness. And create financial rituals that bring magic into the mundane. So altar work, moon cycles, intuitive pricing. Structure doesn't dilute your magic. It helps deliver it. Next is to stop confusing martyrdom with magnetism. You don't have to disappear to be divine. You may have been taught that love equates sacrifice, that it's better to give endlessly than to shine too brightly. But Venus in Pisces magnetizes when she's full, not when she's fading. Prioritize your healing, your joy, your rest. Say no to emotional labor that cost your vitality. Allow yourself to be supported by people and money. You don't need to earn love by leaking energy. You are already love. Next is to channel your gift into a higher purpose that pays you back. Your creativity is currency. Whether through music, poetry, film, therapy, psychic work, or spiritual entrepreneurship, your soul speaks in images, intuition, and emotion, and the world is hungry for that kind of nourishment. Package your visions in a way others can receive. Let your offerings be prayerful, intentional, and transformative. Align your pricing with the impact of your presence. You are here to help others feel seen in their most tender places. And yes, you can charge for that. Finally, reclaim receiving as a spiritual practice. You've poured into everyone else. Now it's your turn. You came to this lifetime with the vibration of divine service. But your karmic lesson is to include yourself in that love. So practice receiving compliments, payment, support, and care. Meditate on where you still feel guilty for having needs. And remember, money doesn't taint your purpose. It supports it. Let your softness be sacred, and let your wealth be devotional. A great affirmation for your Venus and Pisces energy is, I magnetize abundance through compassion, creativity, and divine trust. I am worthy of receiving in full what I so freely give. This is your cosmic check-in. Drop your thoughts and takeaways in the comments below. And of course, if you love this, be sure to hit like, spread the magic, and subscribe so you never miss a planetary truth bomb. And if you're ready to stop outsourcing your worth and finally come home to yourself, my Venus Activation Journal guides you through your Venus sign and house so you can rewire how you see and love yourself. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching.